What is up, Solar Warriors? Today is Tuesday, March 5th, 2024. My name is Jarrett McAllister, the virtual Solar Pro. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share it with your fellow solopreneurs. We are excited to kick off this week's training. Fresh back from Mexico, we got Jonathan Bernasso, Rick Joseph in the house this week, Mr. Tom Cotter. What's up, ladies and gents? How's everybody doing?
Grand Rising.
Doing awesome. Doing awesome. Excited to see everybody here. We got Steven Reynolds and Michael Spring, David Ringo, even the
Christopher Collier out of Alabama, Birmingham. Let's go.
Solar Mike Winter.
We got some OG on the call.
All-star.
Don't forget about the Solar Bowler. Come on now. In the house. Oh, and Carrie, some Solar All-Stars. So
the hardest working man in solar is here too. R. Craig Bloom.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. With that iconic smile in front of a power convention, tent. He is the hardest working man in solar. Hardest working networker. I'll tell you that much for sure.
Nobody
All right, you guys. Well,
nobody does events like he does, man. He's got the tent game down.
We want to hear that success story in a second.
Yeah, let's do that. So let's kick this thing right off, shall we? So let's jump into success stories like we do every single week. We love to hear them. If you have one, drop it in the chat, but raise your hand. Don't be shy. Come on, come one, come all. Somebody else has to tell one besides Bill Conley, okay? Can't be the star of the show every single week.
Craig, tell us about your events real quick, my man. We all admire you.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate certainly the kudos. Yeah, listen. So we're at the Home and Garden Show this past weekend. We'll be back there again this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's every roofer in the States practically at the show. So I've got Emmett and John Dix working the floor. Man, they're doing some magic. They're going around and introducing themselves to everybody. We'll be closing all that business this weekend. And so we've got a pretty neat thing in the booth. We put out a little golf game, and so the folks come by and the kids see that golf game. The kids start playing miniature golf, and then we pitch the parents. And then so we bring them around to the back of the booth. We sit them down. I've got the parents sitting there, putting their information in, scheduling the appointments there at the show. And so we had we had at least a dozen super qualified leads come through. Everyone's got multiple leads to work this week. I've got 3 or 4 appointments scheduled from this past weekend already, and so it's great, man. It's terrific. It's grueling. I can just tell you that. I mean, when you're sitting on that floor for 10 hours a day, you come back for another 10 hours. You're tired at the end of the day, but it's pretty cool. And so next year we'll even have a bigger booth. We've got some plans of how we're going to turn it into an entirely different event next year. We're going to partner with a roofing company to have them actually in our booth. So we're going to pitch roof and solar together that way. So we've got some great ideas, but it's going terrific. So I appreciate everyone's support, and we're doing it out here, the DMV. We're tearing it up in Maryland.
Yeah.
Hey, Craig, question for you real quick. How many of these have you done so far? It seems like you're kind of setting the benchmark for the company on the booth manning.
Thank you, Rick. I mean, so look, this is my second year. Last year I did it by myself. This year I've got 4 other folks in the booth with me. So everyone knows, obviously, Emmett, if he's on the call or not, but we're working that. And so every month I do the Bethesda Farmers Market. So this is my second year doing that as well. So this weekend up at the show, next weekend at the show, and then the following weekend I'll be at the Farmers Market. That's kind of what I'm doing. And then actually in April, I'm doing it's called a Pathways. It's Natural Living Expo. So it's folks come out to this particular expo. They're all it's home remedies, it's spiritualists, that type of thing. They're earthy people, if you will, and so they're into solar. So I'm pitching my tent at that one more time. That's the 5th time I've done that show. I'll be out there again in April. And so just continue to, just look for venues where people are, right? Because people own homes. Doesn't matter what it is, whether you're into flying kites, go to a kite show, because those people that fly kites own homes. And that's what we do. Thank you, Rick. I appreciate that.
Craig, that's really
what would
good
you say
stuff.
your leads that you get per show, just so people can have an understanding, because people talk about leads, right? So I mean, this is something that everybody could do in their own market. So talk to us a little bit about your success in terms of getting leads on one of these events.
So thank you. And so this past weekend, I mean, we had 12 qualified leads, and I mean qualified because we scheduled appointments, we've collected utility bills, and that's what we're doing. So the key really is to schedule the appointment at the show. I mean, everybody and their brother's going to come by, they're going to kick the tires, they're going to grab a card, I'll call you, and they never will. They never will. So we have a sign-up sheet there within the iPad. We fill out the iPad. I immediately take them over to Calendarly, schedule the appointment. And then that's kind of how that's working. But we had 12 really super qualified leads. I mean, there's a lot more than that than people are walking by. And I know more and more things will come from that. But in terms of getting those leads, so last year I had about 50. So this year we want to ratchet up to at least 100 leads, and we should be able to do that effectively. The next 3 days through this coming weekend. So a lot of times it's kind of the ramp up, right? I mean, folks will come out the first weekend and then they come back to do their closing the following week. But it's not just about being at the show, right? You got to work the floor. And so we had a whole plan with that. And so Emmett has walked by. We kind of split the showroom floor. There's 40,000 people coming through this venue. 40,000. And so there's landscaping companies, there's every roofing company, there's HVAC companies. And so we're pitching them all, and we're pitching enterprise. So we're working that side of the angle. I mean, I think Emmett had 18 at least solid leads with them already. And so I'm expecting to roll several of those over. I met a couple of them last year. They see me back again. I come back to the booth and just reinforce that relationship if we haven't brought them on board yet. But that's how it is. I mean, you got to be there. It's the Maryland State Show, so this is the largest show for the entire state. There will be separate venues with that, but anyhow, that's what it is. I mean, and again, the technique really, and a lot of folks here that have done some shows, the technique truly is to schedule the appointment at the show. If you don't do that, they typically get away. And so even after you've collected those leads, like when I sent the leads out to our team, my advice was call them tonight or tomorrow at the latest. If you don't get in touch with them right away, you're probably going to start to lose the fish. So that's kind of you have to strike while the iron's hot, while it's still in their emotional buying mode, if you will, and take advantage of it there. But great stuff, man. Great stuff. It's working well. Thank you.
Love it, Craig. Man, dude, you're absolutely crushing that. It works if you work it. You're putting in the work. You're dropping golden nuggets for those of you out there. And anybody can do this, you guys. And it's starting to become that time of the year. Home and garden shows, car shows, festivals, farmers markets. It's not that much of a investment to get yourself a tablecloth. You could do a pop-up tent. Don't think you have to spend thousands of dollars in the beginning. Start basic and small. You can spend a couple $100, get the material. And then as you start to see the fruits of your labor, reinvest into your business, get a nicer tent, right? Get some nice iPads, get some things to give away. So I absolutely love that. And it is a tried and true method to generate leads. So great job, Craig. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll catch you on LinkedIn.
One
more quick thing. Sorry,
other-
Tom. To put this in perspective, the investment was about $2,500 to be on the floor. So it cost me about $500 a day to be there.
We'll
Sure, for the event itself.
We'll do a training on events coming up soon for you guys, because this is a lot of great information.
It totally is.
Sorry.
All right.
Tom.
Thank you for that, man. Moving up to Solar Power Bill, Mr. Conley, our weekly guest on the Weekly Wins. What's up, dude?
I'm so sorry. It just is, it's an embarrassment of riches. I can't believe it. And I want to say, first of all, I'm so proud of my dear friend Craig Bloom and what he's done there. He's really single-handedly taken that on as his thing, but he's doing all kinds of things beyond shows. So way to go, Craig. Hey, I want to acknowledge and introduce again, because he wasn't able to be here last week, Richard Martinez from Merced, California. last week we talked about his win to sign up on Friday and do his training on Saturday and have a deal on Sunday. I mean, a proposal on Sunday and a signed contract on Monday. This week he's completed and signed 3 projects. So he is rocking. I think we're gonna hear a lot more about him. His mom or Lorraine's coming on the program, who's a solar pro. But anyway, want to acknowledge Richie Martinez, 3 deals this week. Congratulations. And then of course, Jared Foster, I'm sure has wins to share too. So anyway, I love you all. Thank you all. Powur is the best. There's no second place.
Amen, brother. Great job, and great job to your team. Everybody on there crushing it. All right. So thank you for sharing that. We also have some wins from some team members who just came back from Powur's impact journey in Mexico, where they went down, partnered up with Prosperity Homes to help build a home for a family. Jonathan, you want to talk a little bit about your trip?
Yeah, and I know that Cynthia, Rick, and Ubaldo are on here as well. I'll just tee it off for 1 minute and then hand it over to them. But due to the last summer sales contest, the top 20 professionals got a work hard, play hard impact journey. So it's something we do once, twice a year. We go down to Mexico, build a home for a family in need. We work hard and then we play hard at a resort with zip lining, ATVs, dinners, masterminding, social media content, just an amazing time, wine tasting. And so this trip was more like half corporate team members and then half sellers. A lot of sellers couldn't make this trip. And here you can see Cami, our CMO, Ubaldo, there's J-Bud, his sister Emily, Rachel, Bobby Smith was able to go. From the intake department, we had Letty and Jackie. You can see Megan as well. She's on the software programming side. And you can see the son and the mom actually painting side by side. So we get to work hand in hand with the family. You might be able to see off here to the left, they're literally like in a shack with a wooden door and some tarps. That's actually a better structure than 90% of the families down there, believe it or not. So we get to go down, and in literally 2.5 days, we get to build a house. You could see Ubaldo, Fabian, here, there's Letty, Cami again. And then we visited an orphanage. So Bobby Smith, Layla, Emily Budd, Erica, all some of the corporate team members here. We played soccer with the local boys at an orphanage where a lot of kids are just, they don't really have anyone. Here you can see the home is being built, and we stay at a dorm style, hostel style beach house. We do breath work each morning. Half the group does breath work. You can see we have a nice assortment of some food here, and Rachel McDonald. And before you know it, this house and roof is all done. And we even throw the solar panels up there. They got some China brand 460-watt panels. We do use a local solar company down there. This gentleman right here has been helping us. So just enough to power a few light bulbs and a refrigerator, guys. That's really it. I mean, these families don't have running water and they don't have electricity. And so just wrapping up here, an amazing time, the beach house. And then as we do the ceremony, there's Dean Rosenberg, our CTO, Jonathan Budd, and the whole executive corporate team here. And then we had Emily and Ubaldo hand the keys off prior to going and having some fun. So I'll pause there and see if Rick, Cynthia, Ubaldo would like to share a little bit more about this amazing journey we just got back from.
Yeah, I just think it's become such a part of our culture now. It's interwoven into who we are. So a few of us have been fortunate enough to be on 3, well, I guess 4 at this point. Cynthia and Ubaldo, myself, Chris, John. So what I really love is, every year we bring different people down. And so seeing it through somebody's eyes that hasn't seen it before for the first time is always impactful for me. So in the share circle that we have, a couple of the folks shared that they had a lot of fear around stepping out of their comfort zone and coming down and doing this, right? And they almost didn't show up. And sure enough, once they showed up and they participated and they allowed themselves to be in the unknown, it greatly impacted them. There was tears of joy. And we know this by having done this 3-4 times now, that it's just so impactful and life-changing for these folks. So we've got a couple of those folks on the call today that have been experiencing this for the first time. So I really wanted to kind of share, or have them share with the team, what it was like for the first time, what your expectations were going in, and then what it turned out to be, and your highlights, and how it maybe changed you a little bit, in the process. So Tyler, I think you're driving, but can you jump on and share a little bit about what the journey was for you for the first time?
Absolutely. What's up, warriors and hitters? I am driving, so sorry my camera's not on, but this was my first impact journey that I went to. I had been invited before, but like Rick had said, just was like, I'm going to find a way to make it happen and get there. And for me, it changed my life. I mean, it puts things in a lot of perspective. For me, we deal with a lot of challenges in solar. We're combining construction and technology and project managers and things not going our way 100% of the time. And, it really just puts things in perspective. This gentleman, Oscar, he picks flowers 6 days a week from 7 to 5 or 6 and makes $8 a day. And that is their only income source. And, so to think about saving enough to build a home and get ahead is obviously really, really challenging. So the fact that we were all able to go down there, make a huge change in their life, give them a new perspective on what's possible and hope. It was just a really, really beautiful experience. And then being able to do that with other team members at Powur and just getting to know each other on a deeper level, and going to the orphanage and seeing these kids who really don't have much, but there's still smiles on their faces. And we brought a ton of smiles. It was like one of the most rewarding things I've ever been able to be a part of. And it was, it just really puts everything in perspective. So, next time you're upset about something or frustrated with something, like, just know there's other people who have harder battles and more challenging things that they're going through. So it was just awesome. And I'm so glad, and it's a part of our culture. And for those who haven't been, and I'm sure we're going to roll it out in the future, some type of contest, like, make it your personal goal to get on one of these, because it really is one of the coolest things I've ever been able to be a part of.
Beautifully said, Tyler. That's exactly what we're going for, right? It's you expressed it perfectly, because that's typically what people experience. Like I said, there's usually that little bit of pushback and not knowing, but then once you do it, you want to do more. You want to be on the next one. So
100%.
We've also got Michael Spring, who was on his first mission as well. Michael's a 14-year solar pro from Arizona, who comes from, like a lot of us, the sun run culture, and he was just blown away. I'll kind of let him explain, maybe the difference and how you see the power culture versus coming from corporate, and talk a little bit about your experience on the trip, Mike.
Yeah, I don't think I could say it much better than what Tyler just explained. Good job, Tyler. That's a great explanation of what we kind of need to witness. Most of us don't go to Mexico, and so we're kind of trapped into this. Really, our culture in America is extremely corporate, extremely. Even though that most of us aren't involved in a corporate a structure, so to speak. Wherever we go, we're kind of like being bombarded by corporations and this nasty corporate type of philosophy. So when you go out there, it's like it's much more natural, and the children are playing ball. They're outside. People are having fun together. Now, granted, there's the flip side, right? I mean, there's a health and safety issue out there that they don't have that we do have. So it is a little complex, but it's nice to see these people. They're very happy people, but they're also in they're in dire need of a lot of health and safety measures that we can help with. So, I think that us going out there, it has helped me not only just give a proper perspective on people in general and our nations, but also on Powur itself. I mean, when I worked for Sunrun, they wouldn't have ever did anything like this. I mean, yeah, they send you on trips, right? But like not humanitarian trips, not on trips like this where the person is embraced. And so when the person is embraced in a sociological way, it's also embraced in the team building way. So I mean, and I know other companies are doing this kind of thing, right? But it's great that Powur is doing it. I'm proud to be a part of Powur. It's been great.
Awesome.
Hey guys,
Thanks,
just
Mike.
wanted to jump in really quick and mention Jonathan and I, when we first met this office, we met a real estate office and we started, showing them about solar. And within this building, we met Prosperity Homes that builds these homes. And we knew there was something very, very special about them. And then Rick and Jonathan introduced Prosperity Homes to Powur. And they're so alike, right? Like Powur is a soul-centered company. They're very focused on doing more than a regular company. And how crazy is it that they think, hey, we don't just want to send you on a trip and wine you and dine you. We want to impact your life. And that's why it's called the impact journey, because Cami said, I want to make an impact on someone's life, on the life of our leaders. And so that's why the trip is called Work Hard, Play Hard. We're going to go work hard and then we're going to go play hard. So it's just amazing. And I feel very lucky to be part of a company that does that. And the organization we partner with, you guys, doesn't just build homes in Mexico. What's really cool is they go back and they make sure the families have financial literacy. They encourage them to start jobs. I'll give you one example. The last family they built a home for, they gave the husband a set of tools and he built a restaurant with those tools. And it's just amazing to me what we do, and we're not just doing charity work, but this organization is actually doing sustainable philanthropy for these people. So it's just amazing. For anyone who didn't go, I feel terrible for them, honestly. Like it's such a great experience. Besides all of that, it's really cool to get to know each other on a deeper level, because when you go down there, your heart is just wide open. And it's really cool to connect with everyone there. And so a lot of us, had really nice conversations. You get really close to everyone and you get to know someone on more than just, a work level. But if you guys ever do have a chance to go, definitely take the opportunity. It is a lot safer than what it seems. We caravan together, and the setup they have is very, very nice. So that's all I wanted to say, guys.
Beautiful. Thanks for sharing that, Cynthia. I'm guessing the building permits are a little bit less lax or a little more,
Yeah, there's no
Just
OSHA.
go build a
There's no
restaurant.
tied in on the roofs, that's for damn sure.
Safety.
Yeah, you guys were
prayer.
not waiting up for permission to operate for the home, and
We
get 'em
didn't deal with
turned
any
on.
no revisions or anything
No
like that.
revisions. Any change orders through the process?
No
No.
roof leaks. No roof leaks.
No roof
No
leaks.
Jonathan Bo was joking. We forgot to check the conduit run box. So yeah. Check.
Didn't do an attic run. No attic run.
No attic run.
What's funny is J Bud is always the first to jump up on the roof. He's always the one that wants to be on the roof. And his famous saying is, you haven't lived until you've roofed, and you can't get that guy off the roof with his hammer. He's there the entire time. So when you're seeing the CEO of the company, like walking the freaking walk to that degree, like, how can you not love him? Like, come on.
Yeah. Rick, I'll say one thing on that, and because I was on the roof a lot too, and it does make you appreciate even more so our roofers and our installers and how hard they work every single day. I'm at an install right now to thank our installers, and I'll be knocking doors, but it is not easy what they do every single day to get our jobs to reality. So another nugget to take away from that, just as you guys have your installs going on and re-roofs going on, it's a ton of work.
Amen.
We have Ubaldo? Where's Ubaldo? Is he on? He's always a great.
Yes, Rick, I'm here.
Aha, that's my brother.
It's good
Try
to
not
see
to
you
make us
all.
cry.
Oh my God, what an amazing week we had. So, first of all, I just want to highlight, Cynthia, Jonathan, Rick. I don't know if Power will be the same company without you guys connecting Power with Prosperity Home, because this is a very, very essential part of the company now. And to be honest, I don't change just moment for all the money in the plan. To be honest, and I feel honored. I feel very proud to be part of this organization, and not only that, but be part of this life-changing thing that we do, because I don't think we only change as family life, the people behind them, but also the community. The most houses we build, the most beautiful houses we build, the better the community, and they're gonna be communicating each other. They're gonna know this company is changing the world. This is not just about money. It's about something bigger than that. So I feel very proud. I spend, I enjoy every single moment I spend. I have the opportunity to meet, Tyler, both Michael, Fabian, what a smart guy, Alex. This is unbelievable. So I feel like every time the journey, our journey is announced, I had to do more. I invite you guys, those who haven't had the opportunity to be present. I've been 3 times, and I'm not planning to miss any of them. So if you haven't had the opportunity, do it a little bit more effort, because you're gonna be the different. You're gonna see the difference. You're gonna feel, man, this is something different, and I feel honored. One part that I want to mention is, the opportunity to hand over the key to the family. This is very special for me, since I come in from very humble beginning. I know how hard it is to have the most basic thing, like a pair of shoes or running water. That's powerful. And I don't know if you guys know the emotion, the whole group, the whole family, and the wife in particular. They make a lot of effort. They're trying to do more every time to do better, and I can feel they want to do better, but they don't have the chance. They don't have the opportunity. So one thing in particular, I having a conversation with her, and she said, I like to have my team, my beautiful home decorated and the thing. So I decided to hand over like $1,000, which is nothing for me, to be honest. I'm not bragging here, but it's nothing. You know how much we make for every deal. So for her, that was $1 million, because they make use of $8 per day. And she told her, so the little boy was, wiping off the tear, because like, Mom, everything's gonna be okay. We're gonna be fine. So that was a very special moment, and I feel like we're doing something beautiful. So I feel honored again. I feel proud to be part of this amazing group of people, and I don't change. Forget about the money, forget about the car that I won. So every time that the Power Journey is announced, I'm gonna do my best to be there, because I know we're doing something beautiful, something great. So I don't know if Jonathan has time to mention the the play hard part, because I had the most beautiful room in the whole trip, and we have a lot of fun. So I feel great. I feel honored, and again, I don't think I'm gonna miss any of those trips, because it's a life-changing experience. So thank you so much.
All right. And yeah, just to showcase some of the play hard part, thank you for that beautiful share, Ubaldo. We immediately went to a nice lunch, as you can see here, with a not so bad view. After we gave the keys, we went zip lining. We all had to sign waivers. If we die, our revenue share goes over to Jonathan Budd. I'm just kidding. But we did zip lining, and then we went to the resort, had a beautiful dinner. Everyone had their own villa, basically, at this gorgeous resort, and had a nice dinner here. And just a free day the next day. Some people did wine tasting. Some people got massages. We did a mastermind in person with a lot of the top sales reps here and the people that attended. And then to top it all off, we decided to sign more waivers and go skydiving, jumping out of a perfectly good plane. It was Jonathan Budd's first time skydiving. Ubaldo and Cami were the only ones that have done it before. But that wraps up the impact journey pretty much. So Moving on. If you have any questions, type in the chat. And Jarrett, I know you have something special you did recently that you want to share before we move on to updates and important events as well.
Yes, I do. Thanks for that. And just real quick to touch on, all your guys' great stories from the impact journey. I remember one of the original ones that we went on down to Mexico. Cynthia was there, your brother. It truly is rewarding and humbling all at the same time. And if you ever get a chance to do it, take up that opportunity. If you could get your kids to go though, I think that would be some of the most powerful moments. You guys, these people don't have shit. They're literally living on dirt. They are living in horrible, inhumane conditions, and to go down there but they have smiles on their faces. These kids, it's like, they got a soccer ball, no shoes. They're running around, and you just feel so much love. I'm kind of tearing up just even thinking about it, because it puts life into perspective. We are so blessed with this opportunity. We make, incredible money for what we do, but it's like some of us have children, and when they're bitching and crying because you won't let them play with their iPad, or, hey, I wanted this toy at the store. It's like, no, knock it off. Knock it off. If you can get your kids to come down there and the perspective and them just to see what the world's really like, I highly recommend it. So thank you guys, everyone, for sharing those stories. They're very impactful, and there is no better company than Powur, hands down. There's does not compete in the solar industry. You guys are at the right place at the right time with a company and leadership that truly gives, they care. Okay. They really care. So, I'm proud to be a part of this company. All right. With that being said, yes, I had, something awesome I wanted to share with you guys. So this past week on the Virtual Solar Pro podcast, I interviewed the great Wally Arita from the Philippines. It was an incredible hour conversation where we get into location independence, the freedom of selling solar virtually, his journey through sales, how he's become a one-call closer, his sales mentors, what he looks into. It's an incredible conversation. I want to share that with all of you. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the link to Spotify in the chat. If you can do your boy a solid, go ahead and follow the show, hit the notification bell, because this is just the beginning of many, many episodes to come. And here's a little sneak teaser. If you hit the notification bell and subscribe, next week, I will be interviewing the one and only Cynthia Alvidrez on the podcast. So if you have any questions you want me to ask her on the podcast, drop that in the chat as well. But yeah, I wanted to share that with you. Go ahead, and I'm putting that in the chat now.
Beautiful. Thanks, Jarrett. Yeah, those shows are really cool. I started watching Wally's interview a little bit yesterday from the Philippines. So, Tom Cotter, do you have a quote or anything to share of the day, my friend?
Yeah, I got a question for Jonathan and Jarrett and Rick. Somebody signs up, starts working with Powur. They go through tier 1 certification and they disappear. And they reach out to you a month or 2 or 3 months later and say they need help generating leads. They can't figure out how to get their first utility bill. And you talk to them and you ask them, where you been? Tuesday training, where you been? Market development meeting, where you been? Building with Bobby, where you been? Solar
Powur
Master
Hour.
Guide. Solar Master Guide. Have you been looking at that? What's that? What's Solar Master Guide? So I put this together, and this is what we want to say to those sellers, those people that sign up and don't ever really do much to take action to get some momentum in their business. So the artist Drake, he's got like 133 songs. Out of that 133 songs, he's got 38 hits. And this is Drake. That's 28% success. Beyonce, no matter what you may think about country music, she's got 89 songs, and 22 hits. That's 24% success rate. Red Hot Chili Peppers, 265 songs, 13 hits. That's a 4.9% success rate. So 70% of these artists' output doesn't hit. They don't have success 70% of the time. So if you are listening to this, you are new to power, new to solar, new to sales, you need to take massive action in one direction. Not every direction, not everything, one direction of starting conversations with homeowners. That action will give you momentum sooner or later, depending on your skill set. You just have to keep going in order to see the success that you want.
Love it. Wise words, Tom. Appreciate that. And yeah, you got to find the aces in the deck, right? Our platform is just so easy to have people join, and you got to work with those aces and continue to build the business. Speaking of build the business, I'm going to talk about the big waiver that's been extended in just a second. Let's go ahead and do that, actually. The big wave activation fee, $99, is still being waived. Jonathan Budd said in Mexico that our enrollment numbers in team building has been pretty solid. The numbers continue to go upwards, upwards, upwards. It could be due to many factors. But guys, take advantage of that. $99 fee waive through the end of March. It's just $85 a month to join Powur, start earning thousands literally within weeks. We have an M1 payment. A lot of companies don't. And so if you're wanting to build your business, recruit solar pro salespeople, realtors, lenders, roofers, leverage this promo. Now's the time. And then Monday next week, as we all know, Power Hour, 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. We're going to interview Michael Spring and Mike Craner. And then I'll do the Power Hour Business Explained as well. So you got the Power Hour in front of you with some amazing interview guests. We got a promotion. So start inviting people to build the business now. I highly, highly recommend leveraging these two events and promotions. Tuesday team training. Next week, we're going to cover how to not lose a deal with a competitor proposal. We're going to have a panel. You're going to hear from some of the top people on what competitor proposals they're seeing. We're going to review a Sunrun proposal, Everbright proposals, Freedom or Titan or Palmetto. And we're going to talk about the things you should know to not lose a deal against competition. Everyone is shopping these days, so look forward to a panel next week. Following that, we're going to have the Women of Power on here, probably talk about networking. Once you're in a BNI, a team, a chamber, how to maximize the crap out of that networking group. You all should be doing that if you're looking for referrals and self-gen deals. And here are a few other things we're going to be teaching on these coming 2-3 months, guys. We're going to review the home improvement contracts line by line and the Sonova contract line by line. That's a fun one. Commercial solar. We got a few people on the team that we refer outside of Power to. They might give us a little bit of training. How to use YouTube with Julie and Todd Borden. How to close a PPA or talk about escalators. Jonathan Wilson, a few others. Proposal prep live with Cynthia. Recruiting and recruiting scripts with Chris Bernasso. I will do enterprise training and onboarding roofers and installers. We'll talk about ethics and integrity on a training. We'll talk about project management on a training. And as of today, we're going to have Craig teach on events for another Tuesday training. So guys, look forward to all these trainings. That's an epic lineup. If you like them, put it in the chat. And if you have other ideas, put it in the chat. And of course, powercalendar.com, all these trainings, market development meetings, and a lot of other important things as well. Friendly reminder, April 18th through 20th in Utah is SolarCon. I do not think Power is going to have a booth at this time, but there'll probably be 20 to 30 Power reps, rock and swag. embracing the industry, networking, meeting Gary Vee. Jim Bunch will be on stage. So if you'd like to get a 10% off additional promo code Jonathan, I would grab your tickets for Utah. And then if you want to get trained by Danny Pessy, you know, I have no connection or monetary connection with this. I just like Danny Pessy, and I think he drops a lot of fire like he did in Texas. So this March 7th and 8th in Los Angeles in person, you can go to DannyPessy.com events. He gave me 30% off for the team, and he recognizes that Powur is one of the only strongest companies in business right now, guys. So he doesn't even invite other companies because they're not even doing good. But 30% off. Tickets start at $397. 2 days of just ultimate in-person training to build your business. Promo code is there as well. 2 more things here, and then we'll drop to some office hour Q&A session. Powur World in Florida. You have to attend this. Go to powurconvention.com. It's September 2024, our annual in-person event and gala. I think you can still grab an early bird ticket for just $279. That's gonna go up. So you have to be there to experience another Powur World and get your teammates there, more importantly. And then a few last dates here. March 9th, this Saturday, is what we call Powur Day. So a lot of markets are doing an in-person training this Saturday. The first hour is a business presentation. Get your guests there. Drive with them, bring them, and then there's going to be some local training in your market and utility. Not all markets are doing this, so go to powurcalendar.com for Powur Day. April 3rd masterclass. I'm just going to stress how important this masterclass is. It's likely the most important masterclass of the year, and Jonathan Budd has a ton of new products, new software, and new lenders to introduce, guys. So just get excited because April 3rd masterclass is going to be bananas. We're going to elevate ourselves in the industry even more. So stay tuned for that. And here you can see a breakdown of Powur Days in person, and then Solar Saturdays are virtual. Take a screenshot, watch the recording, make sure to plan these out on your calendar. Last thing I have an idea. I'd like to get some feedback in the chat. Let me open up the chat. I have an idea of doing a call night or a call blitz. And it's basically, we all hang out on Zoom from 4 to 6 Pacific. And one of these nights, maybe it's Tuesday, maybe it's a Wednesday, we're all going to review a script, maybe watch a role play, and then we're all going to mute ourselves and we're going to call realtors. Someone's going to take green certified realtors. Someone's going to take realtors in, you know, LA, San Bernardino, whatever, Texas. And we're all going to share what scripts and what's working. And then the next week we can call on mortgage lenders. And the next week we can call some of our ambassadors and send a text. And the next week we can call on our unsold leads. So give me some feedback in the chat. Who would attend a call blitz night? And, what are your thoughts on that? I think it's just, without a doubt, it would be beneficial.
100%.
Okay, cool.
These are income producing activities and taking action. And I know not everybody is self-starting and has the gusto to block off their time. And that's what it takes to be an entrepreneur. But if you can get on a group of accountability, hey, let's all hop on a Zoom. All right, let's all mute. Let's make some phone calls. You got to win. Come on. Let's talk about it. Like, keep each other pumped. Right now's the time, you guys. It's, you know, it's March 5th. It's solar season is here, you know, so.
Great, Jared, because you're in charge of it. So I'm just kidding. All right, y'all.
Thanks. Phone calls anytime.
Thanks for the time. You know, Jared, appreciate you and your leadership. Rick, major shout out, and Tom, to your guys' leaders, the beautiful trip we experienced, all of the events and everything that makes Powur so magical. And guys, we have the best leadership. Getting to know Jonathan Budd on a deeper, deeper level. He's the most soul-centered, emotionally intelligent, doing the deep work. And I'm telling you, he's on another elevated level right now, as of a few months ago. And it is just so motivational to see where this is headed and what updates are coming. So I'm super pumped. And I know with that, we probably only have about 10 minutes of open office hours, some Q&A. You could type it in the chat. You could raise your hand. We do have a hard stop at 11. So much love, everybody, but that's all I got.
All right, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this recording, and then we will jump into Q&A for 10 minutes. So thanks everybody for showing up this week, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Boom.